Hey everyone, welcome to the Gravel Loco race recap. This one I know is a very long time coming. At first I wasn't sure if I was going to do it because of what happened on social media. I thought maybe people knew enough about it. But just thinking about it, the footage I have is so good, and I think there's way more behind the race than the controversy. So I was like, might as well do it. I think it's gonna be a great one. So better sooner than later, I guess. So let's get straight to the race. Start line, 7 a.m. It's a pretty early start, but it's justified because it's a 250k ride. Most of the gravel is, I would say, not smooth, so it's super fast. It's almost like pavement, but sometimes you gotta watch out for pothole and for rocks. And there's certain sections that are a little bit looser, a little bit more technical, and as you'll see, those sections are super crucial in the race. So yeah, we all started. At first it was a weirdly very fast pace. Not sure why. Jonas from Felt went up the front super fast, so it kept the pace pretty good. And just before the first feed zone, that's where you hit like the first major climb. So I would say that the only climbs that I would call major are over 1 minute and a half and 2 minutes. Everything else is maybe 30-20 seconds, and that's kind of where the first selection of 40 rider happened. And from there it was a lot of cat and mouse, but groups were going, things were coming back together. It was super fun. And after 100k of that, our group was maybe shed to, I don't know, I would say 30. And just after that, you hit really the hardest point of the race. It's 3 climbs that are called the 3 Bs. And going into the climbs, it's kind of a sketchy descent with super loose gravel. And Payson pre-rolled the course. It was his first time doing the race, but he did his homework. And in the first of the 3 Bs, he attacked. And it really straight up the group really good. Myself, Jasper, other very strong guys put the hammer on into the following 2 climbs, and on the top of it with Peter Havok and other guys, Brendan Wards. And on top of that, I would say we were probably a group of 20. And after that, you hit the mandatory feed zone, and we kind of all had to stop. Fabian did a fantastic job of very looking who was in our group. So there were a lot of riders coming like 20 seconds, 30 seconds after us because they just got dropped. But Fabian made sure after the feed zone they did not start back with us. It happened last year, and some people were not really happy. I don't think it would have changed a lot if you're getting dropped 100k into a 200k race. You're most likely not gonna finish in the front group. But anyway, that was super good. So we took, I would say, a good 5 minutes at the feed zone, filling up bottles, putting water on ourselves. It was not a crazy hot day like last year, but still over 30 degrees. So I don't know exactly what this is in Fahrenheit, but around 90 Fahrenheit. So yeah, we started back, and in between the 2 mandatory feed zone, that's kind of where the controversy happened. Some guys were taking some win unnecessarily. In my opinion, we were a group of like 20 guys, nobody was attacking, and it was just a matter of like, either we're gonna attack each other or we're gonna soft pedal. And I'm gonna be honest, on a ride like that of 250k, I'm really happy of soft pedaling a part of it. So I was really happy with the 150 to 200 watts average, because I knew what was coming. Everybody knew that after the last feed zone, that's 80k from the finish, that's when like everything's gonna play out. So a little bit, I don't know, depending on your standard of argument, until we made it to the second feed zone. all the thing between those two feed zones, you're so in the middle of nowhere. I'm telling you, it's worth it's worth the plane ticket. It's so beautiful out there. And it's actually pretty good because you're like in the trees, so it's pretty shaded, so it doesn't get that hot. And like I said, it's a fast course, so you don't feel the heat that much. You're not going up for like 30 minutes where the heat is just on you. So yeah, I honestly had a good time. It was a good time to chat. It was a good time to recover a little bit. And then we arrived last feed zone. It was starting to be very hot, so everybody was pouring as much water as they could. Again, Fabian did a super good job at looking who was in the group when we entered the feed zone and who was in the group when we get out of the feed zone. Most of us put some oil on our chain just to save the extra watts. And yeah, we were on our way, 80K from the finish. 2 years ago, that's kind of where I had made my move. At that time, the feed zone were not mandatory in Gravel Loco, so that's kind of where I try to solo from there. But this year, we were all together going out of the last feed zone, and the fun really began. Like, we were attacking, going super slow, attacking, going super slow. It was like doing like intervals, like 1 minute on, 30 second off, 1 minute on, 30 second off. And yeah, it was such a pleasure. I mean, there was so much strong guys in the race. Maybe not most, but a good chunk of the guys that were the favorite for Unbound were all there. So we kind of all cancel out each other. It's such a fast course, and that late into a race, you're kind of missing that punch. You're like more diesel, so it kind of tend to come back together a little bit more because everyone is a little bit tired, so doesn't want to like throw all his machete in one move. So yeah, it kind of all come back together, but we all knew that the water crossing was coming. So the other years we did the water crossing right at the start, so like 8K in. This year we did it like 12K from the finish, so we all knew it would be super crucial. I didn't know if it was rideable. I kind of tried to ride it in the pre-ride and I was able to do it, but I was like in a group of 15-20 coming into that. I don't know how it's gonna look. And Peter Havok and Payson went into it a very good position, and I was also in pretty good position going into it. And in the water crossing, Ivar not crashed, but had to like walk in the water, so I got caught behind a little bit. But after the water crossing, it's kind of a very rocky climb, and I was able to make it back to Dylan, Payson, Peter Havok, and Brendan Wirtz, and we had a little gap, I would say maybe 5 seconds, but that gap increased a little bit to maybe about 15 seconds. At the back, Ian and Alex House, and I'm not sure who else was chasing super hard. The gap was stable at like 10 seconds, but I knew there was a road crossing coming, and in the pre-ride the day before, I kind of knew it would be a dangerous part of the course because it's kind of the biggest road that goes from Dallas to Hiko, the place where we start. And when I was about to cross the road, the guys chasing were, like I said, probably 10 seconds behind, and I saw a red car coming, and yeah, I'm pretty sure we would have made it. I don't think it would have been sketchy at all. The car was very far, but because I knew that crossing, I really looked far, and that's why I saw the car. And I was like, if we go through, there's a good chance the guys behind just assume it's clear and they're gonna go. In my head, I was like, it's just not worth to put the lives in the chaser in danger. Dylan is probably still angry about me because he maybe lost the top 5 because of that. But yeah, I think it was the right move. And then they all regroup. We were 5K maybe from the finish. And I'm not sure if it's Payson or Jasper that attacked the first, but I was the second following. And we were a group of 3 in front. And I'm not exactly sure what happened. I was the one taking my pole and Jasper and Payson like overlap wheel, and they all went down. And at this point we had, I don't know, like 5 to 7 seconds on the chasing group. And I looked back, I saw the 2 guys on the ground and the following guys, I don't know, like I said, 7 seconds behind. And I was like, we're 3K from the finish. I just gotta go all in, try to keep the gap. And it really worked. I surprised myself. My legs were amazing. I did the very good 5 minutes for my standard, especially that late into a race, and was able to cross the line with a pretty good gap to take the win in Gravel Loco. I was super happy. It was a weird feeling because I knew one guy was really mad, and so that was kind of weird because Gravel Loco is a small world. But other than that, all the guys were super great, cheering me on, saying it was a very good move. And yeah, that was pretty much the Gravel Loco this year. It was special because Gravel Loco is my first gravel race. I was third the first year, I was fourth the second year, and winning it was just on my bucket list. Fabian put on such a great race. That's always a highlight for me during the year. So it was just a great day. So yeah, that's my Gravel Loco race recap. I'm not gonna get into all the controversy. I think that's behind everyone, and it kind of resolved itself with time. So yeah, excited to be back next year to Gravel Loco. I think it's just the perfect preparation for Unbound. It's a little bit shorter, and it just gets your legs ready. So yeah, that's my Gravel Loco race recap. I hope you enjoy it. And now it's kind of off season right now, so I'll be making the Belgian Waffle Ride North Carolina race recap and also the Nepomuk Gnarly. So stay tuned for them. They should be out very soon. Thank you for listening. Next year, I'm going to make sure to be very faster on those race recap. That's something I need to improve on. So my plan is really to film myself as soon as I finish a race. So there is no excuse, I have the footage and then I can just edit it in the plane. Thanks for listening. And as usual, take care of yourself by making the most optimal choice in every moment, and do the same to take care of the ones you love. Bye.